Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen again. Today I am going to take you along as I make some pies and bake some treats for my family. We have a few birthdays coming up, so we'll be making a birthday cake as well as some treats to put in the freezer and of course pies. We've had a lot of rhubarb that has grown really well this year, so rhubarb pie filling has been in abundance, and while it's really good on its own, it's even better as a rhubarb strawberry pie. So I'll be adding some frozen strawberries to the sauce before I bake it. And then I'm also going to be making some Saskatoon pies. Now I realize not a lot of people like Saskatoon pies, but we love them. Most of my kids will eat it and it's just delicious. So I have my just all-purpose flour pie crust dough, and then I also have whole wheat freshly milled pie crust dough. This feels very stiff. I had it in the refrigerator overnight and it's feeling a little hard. I'm going to just set this aside a little bit and let it warm up a tad before I work with it. But I will start with the all-purpose flour pie plates. I greased my pie plates with lard before starting. You can use any oil you have on hand. Making homemade pies reminds me of the old-fashioned ways of cooking. Baking pies from scratch is a labor of love. It is quite time intensive, but the end result is well worth it. From scratch cooking will always beat fast food. It took me many years to enjoy pie making, and even today it is not something I do often. Not only because of the work, but also because of our relationship with food. I never wanted to introduce diet culture or bad food versus good foods to my kids, but somehow it has still crept in. Now it's more healthy versus unhealthy, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but you still label food, and that can be challenging in today's world. What I teach my kids today is that food is for our nourishment. Some food is more nutritious than others, and some foods are best eaten in moderation. Not that I had this perfect. Food can and should bring joy, but we also want to remember that it is not good to eat too much. The joy that comes from preparing good food for your family. My husband and my kids are overjoyed when I finally make pies. As a homemaker, I have the ability to be a blessing to my family, and cooking good food is just one of the ways I can do this. Here I am crimping the edges. You can get fancy pie crimpers. I just use a fork. You just want to make sure you seal the edges well. I always make a few cuts on the top to let steam vent out so that it doesn't get trapped in the pie. It's best to make pie dough ahead of time. Letting it rest overnight or at least for 2 hours is recommended. This makes it a lot easier to work with, and I just enjoy it more if I let the dough rest. These strawberries were frozen, which worked against me. The strawberry rhubarb pies became quite watery, especially right out of the oven. We ate one while it was still hot, and it didn't hold its shape well. I baked these pies at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. Now we're on to the freshly milled pie dough crust, and it's feeling very crumbly. I'm a little bit nervous about this. It's not holding as well together as just the all-purpose dough does, so we might be making something else with this. The benefits of freshly milled flour are many, including being a lot more nutritious. I am still new to baking with freshly milled, but I am loving the taste so far. It was definitely more challenging working with this dough. With some careful rolling, the dough came together, and the taste of the freshly milled pie dough was amazing. I wouldn't hesitate to make this again. This year I made the effort to go to a Saskatoon U-pick. We enjoy Saskatoons and pies, but they are also one of my favorite fruits to add to yogurt. Saskatoons have a high level of antioxidants, which makes them a great fruit to add to your diet. It's looking a lot better than I thought. It doesn't look perfect, and the top has a few thin pieces. So I've made 4 filled pies, and then I have 1 pie crust that we'll use for lemon meringue pie, and I will still get a piece of crust from the rest of these scraps. But pie crust, just eating pie crust is really delicious, so I am not concerned about wasting that at all. Full disclosure, we are making cake from a box. On this channel, I focus on cooking from scratch, but the reality is sometimes baking from a box is the easier way. So I have 2 girls that have a birthday on the same day, and I will be making 2 birthday cakes for them. One of them is getting cupcakes, and the other one is actually having a brownie birthday cake. So for the cupcakes, I decided that we would just use a box mix, and then the brownies I will be making from scratch, and everyone will be happy. So while the cupcakes are baking, I prepared my brownie recipe. I'm going to be baking this in 2 separate batches because I only have 1 pan. I'm going to be using a springform pan, and then I'm going to attempt to do a layered brownie cake. As usual, my day turned a bit chaotic, and I wasn't able to finish videoing all the steps. I finished baking the cupcakes and the brownie cake. We got them iced and prepared for the girls' birthday celebration. Thank you for coming along.